Welcome to beautiful Sitka, Alaska. It looks like our cruise ship will be docking right over there.
Now that we are ready for the day, and it's time to get breakfast before we head off the ship.
Look what I found!
Look what I found!
Look what I found!
So excited!
Hi, I'm Matthew.
And I'm Susan.
Together we love to travel.
One of our favorite places to be.
Is aboard a Norwegian ship at sea.
Good food, drinks, and friends.
Make a relaxing trip indeed.
So come along with us.
As we let the sea set us free.
Woo!
Port photo done, and now it's time for breakfast once again at Seven Seas. And here comes the
So Holland America will be docking right next to us here at the dock in Sitka. Damn it, I was hoping we'd be alone on this dock. We got into the dock a few minutes before 7 o'clock this morning. While I was leaning over the balcony watching our ship come into the dock, and I overheard a couple of dock workers here in Sitka going, "We need a red light, green light on the end of our dock." And I paused because I'm like, okay, where is this going? Then he went and continued, "It needs to be red until 7 o'clock when the ship's supposed to be here, so they know not to come in early. And then it turns green." And I'm like thinking, really? He goes, "Children have a red light, green light in their room. It's red until it's time to get up and green when they can." I'm going, oh my gosh, we're complaining about the ship arriving 10 minutes early? It's hilarious. And then he goes, "Maybe we should send an email. I don't know how that would go over them." Like a hole in the head. Yeah, that was my humor for this morning.
We are starting off breakfast with my yogurt parfait and Matthew's half grapefruit with a true bowl of cottage cheese. Our main course has arrived. I got the oatmeal and ham and bacon on the side. Matthew got the eggs to order with ham, bacon, and potatoes on the side.
Welcome to Sitka.
us.
So you guys know this is my first day driving, so let me know if I hit anything, okay?
We made it on the bus, and our first stop is going to be the Raptor Center.
I like to mess with them right at first. So you guys will actually back, and then start our family. We're here in girls for school day for ice. This last winter we had about 4 months of ice. It's not fun, especially when you drive school bus on a river weekend. Besides the activity, it's been about 800 years, a little over until the last year and a half when it's areas around here. We have people that bring their boats up from down south, so California, anywhere else, even here in the off-season. So if you guys go in there, there's a visitor center. We've got about a 12-minute video you can watch with a ton of history. And it goes
Welcome to the Alaska Raptor Center.
Too intense for me personally, because sometimes if the female decides that maybe the male just wasn't good enough.
We are in the Welcome Center here. We're going to be going through the Flight Center here very
Right
soon.
over there.
Is there a way to get, I guess if you get closer, no, you gotta get further.
And eyes used for hunting, a hooked curved beak, and strong, powerful talons. Around 85% of the injuries we see are related to humans, such as collisions with man-made objects, ingesting
Birds that won't make it through rehabilitation and end up staying here permanently with us here at the center, which you will get to meet one of those special residents later on today. But for those who do make it, we get a little emotional after spending so much time working to rehabilitate them and release them into the wild. When this happens, we gather all of our staff and employees, all of our volunteers, and we take them up to our twin sister mountains, which is just a little pathway. I shouldn't say it. It sounds like we go hiking. But we go up our trail and we release them back there. They take flight, often soar off into the mountains. They don't look back. They don't write. They don't call. Not even a tweet, which is really low in my opinion. But that's okay. It's all part of the job. We have around 31 volunteers that donate over 800 hours of their time to this center every year, which is just beyond believable for me. They help us do dirty work like cleaning out eagle enclosures. Do I have any takers on that one? I didn't think so. Okay. But without their help, this would pretty much be impossible, so we're very thankful for them. They help us with our, of course, permanent residents, which you guys will get to meet one just here in a few seconds. But before that happens, I have a few special requests from you guys. So when the bird comes out, we're all going to stay seated, just so no one spooks or startles the bird, which means if someone's in the way of that perfect shot with your camera, just go ahead and hold your phone up above your head, just so that standing won't scare the bird, of course. Also, make sure those ringers are off once again. Flash is okay in here. But other than that, oh, and when the bird goes to leave, please do not applause. Applause after they leave. But anyways, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys Diana and Spirit, and I'll let you guess who's who.
Alright, so thanks for coming to the Raptor Center today. My name is Diana, and more importantly, this is our bald eagle named Spirit. It says hello. So Spirit has been with us since 2016, and we knew that she was actually only a few months old when she came in. She was full grown, but she looked a lot different. She didn't have the classic white head and tail that you see here today. It takes 5 years to actually get this adult plumage. But when she came in, she was this really dark chocolate brown color all over. Even her eyes and her beak were almost black in color. They were really dark. And so all of those features, they gradually changed during the first 5 years of a bald eagle's life. Spirit is 7 years old today. But when she did come in, she had a few injuries. She was found on the side of the road in Juneau. And we don't know exactly what happened We are thinking she probably was struck by a vehicle because of the injuries that she had. To start, she was really, really skinny. She was starving. And the side of a road is a great place to maybe find some easy prey like roadkill, especially for an inexperienced eagle like Spirit at the time. She also had an injury to her eye, so you might be. You're so funny. You might be able to tell from where you're sitting that her left eye is darker than her right eye, and that pupil is more dilated. She has only about 20% of her vision in that eye, we believe. It's very scratched up there. But a one-eyed eagle can still survive in the wild. So we were really hopeful that she would make a full recovery while she was here, and then we could release her. So we had her in the flight training center that you guys were just in with those bald eagles. And we were just observing how well she was flying, kind of making sure she had, the natural behaviors we're looking for a healthy eagle. But we noticed some abnormal behaviors in her. So to start, she wasn't really flying in a straight line, which was a little concerning to us. And her reaction time seemed really delayed. It would take her a few seconds to react to anything around her. And that can be really detrimental in the wild if you're trying to catch a fish going upstream. You want to really have your timing down for that. So we also noticed that she would do this thing sometimes where she would jump off of a perch like she was going to take flight. She would do a complete backflip on the air and land on the ground, which is not normal and not really helpful for an eagle in the wild. But all of these behaviors told us that she probably had a lot more head trauma than we originally believed that she did with her injury. So especially given how young she was, she didn't really have any experience or skills to begin with, just being a few months old. And so we knew it would be really hard for her to learn how to survive after this head trauma. So we decided it was in her best interest to not release her. So this is her home now. She basically grew up with us, so she is very comfortable with us here. You can tell this is like a very comfortable eagle. She has all of her head feathers nice and fluffy. That tells me she's very relaxed. And she's, if anything, mostly just concerned with what's in my So I've worked with Spirit for several years now. We actually both started at the center at the same time. So I could go on and on about her. Do you guys have any questions about Spirit or eagles or anything that we do here?
How old do you think she will live to?
Well, under human care, eagles can live quite old. In the wild, 20 to 25 years is a great lifespan, but we can usually at least double their lifespan here. There are eagles that are in their late 40s, early 50s under human care. So they're very long-lived. Yeah, Spirit doesn't have any competition here. She gets room service every day. And so there's no worries about where she gets her. She's like laughing with you guys. And we have great health care for her here, of course, too. So we have a bald eagle that you'll see today outside that is at least 38 years old. He's probably older than that. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you preserve the beautiful feather and keep the bald eagles clean, especially when their habitat is basically permanently here?
Yeah, so that's all her. She does all that. So we just have to provide a bath and what we call weathering. So we'll make sure that they are exposed to the elements outside, and that really encourages them to take care of their feathers. So she will preen every day, she'll bathe. They have a gland kind of in the lower back area. And so they can reach their head around and to that gland on their lower back, and that gland secretes an oil that's like a weatherproofing too. So they'll run that through their feathers as well. So this is all her. Did you have a question?
How do you
How do we find them? So we're very lucky that we have a lot of support, not just in Sitka, but all over the state. So anyone local here in Sitka, if they see a bird that's injured, they call us and we will go rescue that bird. We work with the state troopers, we work with Alaska Fish and Wildlife all over the state. And even just everyday citizens in other towns and villages in Alaska, they know us because we're the only place that really rehabs bald eagles in the state. And I always like to shout out Alaska Airlines because they transport eagles to us from every corner of Alaska for free for treatment. And Spirit was actually named by Alaska Airlines, Spirit of Alaska.
Feed him. So when he was given to us by that family, we took a look at him and said, this is a great looking red-tailed hawk. We're going to release it right back out. A couple days later, we got a call from our friends over at the police department.
Yes, they're then yelling at them.
Wasn't that cool? It's so awesome to come to the Alaska Raptor Center. If you're ever in Sitka, please make sure you get a tour that stops here.
Did you guys get to see the red-tailed hawk in there? Her name's Kylie. No. Did they tell you about her, like her little rap sheet she has? She's my second favorite one in there. The reason being is that I don't have a hawk, right? And she could do all that totally fine in the Raptor Center. She did it just fine on her own. They put her in the release program, released her. The very second they released her, she went and dive bombed the tourists and sold her hot dogs again. Now, I have to be honest, if I was a hawk, I might like dive bomb the crab shack, I might dive bomb the salmon, I mean something, but hot dogs? So I'm thinking maybe they fed her hot dogs, because that's all she wanted, that's the only place she bothered. So, of course, they got scared. She got called. Police called on her again, so now she is not only, she has a record, but she has a rap sheet. And so